Well, welcome to our journey to Brave that we are engaged in at First United Methodist Church in Omaha. Last year, a dear friend of mine gave me a book that was written by Marianne Edgar Budde, Episcopal Bishop at the Washington National Cathedral. The name of the book is How We Learn to Be Brave, and I like the idea that we don't necessarily be brave by accident, but it's something we can learn to do. It's also something we have to accept. I made my way through the book somewhat, and then in December, Bishop Budde was here in Omaha, and I went to the Creighton campus to listen to her speak. And I thought I needed to take this book more seriously and put into practice some of the things that she talked about that inspired me. So I started reading, and I realized that her chapters divided into the exact number of Sundays we would need during the Lenten season. And the idea went from there. So we are engaging in an opportunity to invite members and friends of the church to talk about times they've been brave. Maybe they were brave enough to go. Maybe they were brave enough to stay. Some have been brave enough to deal with things that was not what they asked for, whether that's a physical condition or a symptom of life. I'm going to let you hear their stories from them. So as these videos unfold on social media, I encourage you to watch, to think about where your stories are similar, perhaps where you've taken a different path. Maybe you haven't found a journey to brave yet, but you will. I believe that. I think every day getting up, facing the world takes a degree of bravery that we don't ever think about fully. So I want to offer a thought about my own life. It's been 25 years since I became a person who was appointed to a church as a pastor. It's taken me from towns of less than 300 people to a metropolis of 1 million. I've met people in all walks of life. I learned to drive a combine, not well. And I didn't really learn, they just let me take a turn. I've spent time on the high plains. I've spent time in rural counties. I've been to places that I probably would not have gone on my own. But when I accepted the call to be itinerant in my ordination, I said I would go. And so when a bishop or a district superintendent calls, and I have 24 hours to think about whether or not I'll go, I already know the answer. Because of my ordination, I said I would be itinerant. So I say I'll take the 24 hours, and I do, but my answer is already clear. It's very scary to move to new churches. Every church is different, and every church is the same. The stories break my heart, but the stories challenge me to be better, to find a way to communicate with people. And so being brave sometimes means simply packing a suitcase or an entire household of goods and moving and finding out what God has in store. This morning in worship, we used the story from Genesis 12 of Abram and Sarai, when God says, "Go to the place I will show you." There are always new places. I believe that the journey is our destination, and we don't stop following where God is leading us until we stop breathing. There is always a place God has in mind for us. So during this Lenten season, I encourage you to find your brave, to find your yes, to find where God is calling you to be brave in the world today. And thank you for joining us.